Hello and welcome to my weekly video blog, and today on A Vogel Talks Menopause I'm going to be talking about, does the menopause affect your muscles? If you like my tips and advice, then please subscribe and remember to hit the bell icon so you can be notified of all my new videos. I get many women contacting me with muscle aches and pains and other issues with their muscles, and they're wondering if it's a menopause symptom, and if so, what's causing it and what they can do to help themselves. So today I'm going to look at 8 different reasons why you can end up with muscle issues in the menopause. So the main muscle symptoms would be things like general aches and pains. You just don't feel right. You get aches and pains after doing very little exercise or walking. You might find your muscles are so stiff when you get up in the morning that it takes maybe an hour before the stiffness and discomfort eases. You may find you start to get muscle cramps, especially at night, or restless leg, or muscle twitching. It also could be muscle weakness. You may find that your arms get weaker, that you find it more difficult to open jars and packets. And it can also be muscle loss. You may feel that your muscle size and shape is shrinking. So how can these things happen? Number one, it is mainly due to falling estrogen. This can cause a number of issues, but one of the things that can happen is as your estrogen falls, the level of cortisol in your body can increase, and cortisol can affect quite a few different areas in the body. High cortisol is very common in anxiety, and this is why a lot of women will suffer anxiety during the menopause. But high levels of cortisol can also affect muscles. It can cause muscle tension, it can cause muscle pain, and also high levels of cortisol will increase your sensitivity to pain. So you may not necessarily be getting more pain, but you will feel that pain much more keenly. Could also be due to progesterone. Progesterone is a muscle relaxant. It helps our body to relax. So if your progesterone starts to decrease during the menopause, that in itself can cause more muscle tension, and it makes it much more difficult for you to relax, especially just before you start to fall asleep. It can be anxiety itself. So if your cortisol levels are increasing, if your anxiety is increasing, we get more muscle tension. And especially when we're anxious and stressed, very often our shoulders hunch, our jaw clenches, our neck gets stiff. So this whole area can become much more uncomfortable. And if this happens on a regular basis, it can tighten the muscles here, and that can lead to constant neck and shoulder pain. It can be low magnesium. Remember how important magnesium is, and magnesium is vital for proper muscle function. If your digestion is affected, if you don't have enough magnesium, if you're having problems absorbing magnesium, then that is going to affect muscle function. And low magnesium, you will find you just tend to get muscle aches. Your muscles will get sorer more quickly when you exercise. So you will find that even doing a little bit of exercise, maybe the next day your muscles are really tight and uncomfortable. Low magnesium is a big trigger for cramps at night and also restless leg symptoms, and also low magnesium can cause fatigue too. It could be excessive sweating. If you're getting a lot of hot flushes or night sweats, then you can lose minerals such as magnesium and potassium through the sweat. And again, that's going to compound muscle aches and pains and cramps. It could be low iron. If you are approaching the menopause and you're starting to get heavy periods or prolonged periods, you can end up with anemia. And low iron means that less oxygen is going to get to the muscles. And especially if you're exercising, if you're not getting enough oxygen to the muscles, that is going to result in muscle pain. Could be weight gain. If you're starting to put weight on in the menopause, that's going to have a direct effect on your muscles, because your muscles are going to carry that weight, especially the leg muscles. Your muscles are going to have to support that extra weight on a daily basis, and that can lead to muscle fatigue. It can be poor sleep. We know poor sleep will trigger anxiety, you will be less robust, and just generally your body will be in a slightly weaker state. Also, poor sleep will affect anxiety levels, and again, that will compound muscle function. Other issues that can affect the muscles: women are prone to arthritis as they approach the menopause. So if your joints are starting to be affected, that can also cause muscle aches and pains. It could be just general fatigue can be a big trigger too. So again, if you're getting a lot of muscle aches and pains and joint aches and pains together, then it may be an idea just to check with your doctor to make sure that it's not arthritis. It could be medication that you're on. If you've started a certain medication and you've noticed that your muscles are aching, then check the patient information leaflet of your medication just to see if muscle ache or muscle tension is one of the known side effects. What can you do to help yourself? Plenty of things. Magnesium. Just make sure you're getting loads of magnesium, because it can really help muscle function very quickly, especially if you're getting the cramps and the restless legs. Check your iron levels, especially if you're getting heavy or prolonged periods, or you've had them in the past, because if you get low in iron, even if your periods have stopped, you can still be deficient even 1 or 2 years down the line. Look at your magnesium-rich foods, your nuts and seeds, your dark green leafy vegetables. Look at supplements too. That's an easy way to increase your magnesium and your iron if you need it. Exercise is really important in the menopause to maintain your muscles. It really is a case of use it or lose it. Also, make sure that you're getting enough protein in your diet. Protein needs go up tremendously in the menopause, and this can be a huge factor. If you're low in protein, it will affect your muscles can shrink, and low protein will also affect your hair and your nails. So if you're getting that kind of scenario, then just check that you are getting a little bit of good quality protein with every single meal during the day. Look at your water. Dehydration can be a factor in muscle function, especially if you exercise regularly. Some people find having a bath really helpful. You can get these magnesium flakes that you can soak in the bath, and that can very often ease muscle tension. Massage, if you can get it, is a great thing for muscle tension. Again, with the exercise, I forgot to say, regular exercise, but also stretching exercises to keep the muscles supple. So you're looking at things like yoga, tai chi, and Pilates, and try and manage stress levels to keep the cortisol down, because that will improve muscle function. Hope you found this one helpful. It's quite a complicated one. If any of you out there have any other tips that can help to support your muscle function, then please share with us, because we would love to hear all about it. And until then, I'll see you next week for another edition of A Vogel Talks Menopause.